Welcome to this InfoHub special report. News just in. A release from the government says Cabinet is satisfied that the resignation of 4 ministers of government, members of parliament, fully accords with the decision of the courts. The MP are Messrs. Carl Greenidge, Joseph Harmon, Dominic Gaskin and Dr. Rupert Roopnarine, who held ministerial portfolios respectively for foreign affairs, state, business and tourism, and the public service. Government says for the ensuing period, as is the usual practice, these portfolios will now be held by sitting members of Cabinet who previously acted for these ministers on leave or out of the jurisdiction. Further, following rulings by the High Court and the Guyana Court of Appeal, President David Granger had sought Cabinet's advice on how to definitively address the status of members of Parliament who hold dual citizenship. The courts have held that it is unconstitutional for persons swearing allegiance to a foreign state or power to be eligible for election to Parliament. As a consequence, the 4 government MPs, who are also ministers, submitted to the President their resignations from the House. On reviewing this development, Cabinet described the action by the ministers as politically correct and as a demonstration of their respect for the rule of law. While the Constitution strictly bars a person who holds dual citizenship from being an MP, they are not prevented from remaining in government service. This is a matter to be addressed by the President, who will finalize ways in which the 4 resigned MPs will serve in government. Cabinet thanks the 4 resigned MPs for their exemplary service to the people of Guyana and look forward to their future contributions in their new roles. Cabinet also looks forward to names being extracted from the APNU AFC coalition list of candidates to fill the vacancies of the MPs who have resigned their seats. Here now is a statement by Minister of Natural Resources, Raphael Trotman.
It was the intention of the President and the Cabinet, after extensive discussions, that we would respect the ruling of the court, and by court I refer now to the High Court and to the Court of Appeal, both of which we respect in terms of their jurisdiction. We of course were not prepared in the initial stages for this, but in deep discussion it was determined that this was what was expected of us, and so today's announcement really is an announcement of a decision that has been taken some time before, and I believe that the Guyanese people must rest assured that the government will do what is right under the law and will respect the rulings of all courts, from the Magistrates Court, of course, all the way to the Caribbean Court of Justice. The President is the keeper and holder of all portfolios, and he distributes and delegates these to ministers as per the Constitution and as per our agreement under the Commonwealth Accord. So in the interim, as has happened before, when ministers have been unable to attend Cabinet, either due to ill health or being out of the country, other ministers are designated by His Excellency to perform the functions, and so we are, as we speak, having other ministers perform the functions of the 4 ministers who have been affected, and so Cabinet goes on. We held a Cabinet meeting today as per normal. We of course recognize the human efforts of our comrades and colleagues who have resigned, but not from government, but from the Parliament, so to speak. They will continue to function in one capacity or another, and that is going to be announced by His Excellency later on. So it is necessary to give effect to what the rulings are, but as I said, they are not gone altogether from government. They are only resigning from the National Assembly, and as a consequence, not being ministers, they cannot be members of Cabinet. We know that the announcement today, which I said was a surprise to some, but we have been working on this for some time. We know that some people will be, of course, anxious as to what next. Please be assured that the government is in capable hands. His Excellency remains President and is taking decisions and overseeing the implementation of those decisions. The people need to be assured that we will respect the rulings of the court, and we expect others as well to respect the rulings of the court as they come. So there is a process ahead of us, and in the meantime, government proceeds, Cabinet continues to meet, and the business of government goes on.
Thank you for joining us. This has been an InfoHub special report. Goodbye.